What's up everyone, Vitaly here, and in this video I want to talk to you about finding Pinterest keywords via reading the room first. Now what that means is that when you're doing keyword research in Pinterest and you're trying to look for keywords that have high search volume and have the potential for you to make boards and pins so you can have those pins rank for those high volume keywords so you can get traffic back to your website, not all keywords are going to be the same. Some of them are going to have a high search volume but a very low search intent. Some of them are going to have a low search volume but a very high search intent, and it's really the latter keywords that you want to look for that can bring you more traffic because they're less competitive. They're going to give you way more opportunities to rank for those keywords, and you're going to have more success with that. And I want to show you two different examples of what this looks like so you can understand what I mean when I say read the room. So here I am in Pinterest and I'm in the home feed, and what I did here was I went into the search and I typed in Santa Barbara. So let's just go further with that. Let's type in Santa Barbara, California. What I want you to notice with the results that are popping up is that half of them are Tobis, which means they have some text overlay on the image, and half of them are just images. Typically, when you see search results that are kind of like this, it may not be the best idea for you to create a board on, in this case, the subject of Santa Barbara, California, because when we're thinking about the search intent of someone that types in something like Santa Barbara, California, what are these people doing? Most of the time, I would say they're just interested in looking at pictures of Santa Barbara. And the thing is, Pinterest will give you what it believes is the most relevant results for the keyword search that you're doing. It's also a very similar thing in Google. And so what you want to look for is, what are the results that are popping up? And in this particular case, we have a mixed bag over here. So personally, I would not recommend that you create a Pinterest board on targeting just the keyword Santa Barbara, California. It's just not search intent enough. However, if I do something like, things to do or something like that, so typically this is a mobile search. We can do something like things to do in Santa Barbara, California. Let's just keep it like that. Notice the results of this keyword search. Nearly every single pin, well, actually every single pin over here, with the exception of this one, are all Tobis. What that typically means is that these are pins which Pinterest says, hey, let me actually rank pins that literally say things to do in Santa Barbara, California. Now here, if somebody's typing in things to do in Santa Barbara, California versus someone that's just typing in Santa Barbara, California, the first category of people are actually looking to do something more than just look at pictures of Santa Barbara. And that is the audience that we want to target. So if you created a board on, say, things to do in Santa Barbara, California, created pins that target this keyword, linked it to a post that targets this keyword, things to do in Santa Barbara, California, you have a far higher chance to get traffic from Pinterest, to rank your pins better, to get more traffic from Pinterest to your website. And this has actually been my experience as well. So make sure you read the room. Let me give you one more example before I finish this video. Amalfi Coast. So the Amalfi Coast, or let's say Amalfi Coast, Italy, is a very popular destination in Italy where people travel. And I want you to notice how most of these pins are just pictures of the Amalfi Coast. So that is really not the best keyword to target because, again, if you're seeing too many image pins, then people aren't really interested in doing anything else other than looking at the pictures of the Amalfi Coast. On the other hand, if I was doing something like where it says, like, second one from the bottom, itinerary, that is way more search intent. And look how many more pins are now popping up that are actually Tobi pins. And this just tells the tale of why it's important to be very keyword targeted and to read the room, to do the keyword research after you find the keyword to see if it's worth further going with that, meaning to create a board, to create a post, to create pins in that board. And in this particular case, a keyword like Amalfi Coast itinerary would be way better to target than just Amalfi Coast or Amalfi Coast, Italy. So I hope that this makes sense. I'll leave the relevant resources below this video so you can check it out, including how to find keywords in Pinterest. But once you do find keywords in Pinterest, make sure that you read the room in order to see if it's worth going further, to start taking action with that stuff. I've personally made mistakes in the past where I found a keyword that was just like, oh my goodness, it's like 50,000 searches, like Amalfi Coast, Italy, for example. And I'm thinking to myself, I just have to make pins that target this keyword. And then I'm barely getting any impressions when I'm making Tobi pins, or I'm barely getting any results with that board and pins. On the other hand, if I'm much more targeted, like Amalfi Coast itinerary, like I was showing you moments ago, then I have a way better chance of ranking. So make sure you do that. I highly recommend it. If you have any questions, let me know. But other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.